Hey, what's up, everybody? Dr. RJ here, your Colorado Chiropractic Association president. We're continuing on of get to know your Colorado Chiropractic Association board. And today with me, we have one of the district directors from District 2, Dr. Amanda Kelley. Hey, Amanda, how are you?
Hello, I'm doing great. How are you, RJ?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for coming on here today. So I don't know if many people know Dr. Amanda, but we're going to dive in and just ask her some questions so you guys all can get to know her. Like I said, she's District 2, and you run Mountainside Family Chiropractic, correct?
Correct. In Lakewood.
In Lake, sorry, I forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
And then how long have you been in practice here in Colorado?
20 going on 23 years.
Okay. So again, another person that people can hit up for help and to ask questions and to knowledge. And I know Amanda likes to give back and help people as much as she can. So we just want to, entice people to do that. And I wish people would hit us up all up more than they currently do and go into that. Tell us a little bit, Amanda, about your practice and what you do so people get to know you.
Well, as you know, RJ, I started practice in Broomfield in 2000 and practiced up in Broomfield for about a decade, had a couple of kids, ended up opening a couple satellite offices, and then one of the satellite offices is the one in Lakewood that I ended up taking over about 10 years ago. So my primary focus when I was up in Broomfield was more like corrective care, and we did a lot of like CBP and stuff like that. And then as I transitioned onto my own practice, I still do like x-rays, corrective care, stuff like that, but I focus more on like the family wellness aspect and pediatrics and pregnancy and stuff like that. So it's not quite as intensive. And because I added some kids into the mix, I have probably some of the wackiest hours that a chiropractor's ever had, but which is great because I own my own business, so I get to make them. And it makes it a little bit harder to do like intensive corrective care because I'm not always in the office when people need to be. So it's a good balance for me of balance in family life and work life. I still love what I do. Can't imagine ever retiring. But yeah, I've figured out how to change it and go with what my needs are in life.
Right. And I think that's huge, right? That's a lot of learning for people to understand that you have to have that balance. And I know that your oldest two kids are done with hockey, and that's where I'm entering with I got a dance daughter, and I'm a dance dad and a hockey dad. It's having that balance to get there to the sporting events and watching it.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, and if you need a playlist, I've been working on the hockey music for the last decade. I've got a killer hockey playlist if you
Uh,
ever need
yeah,
it.
send it. We'll take it. We'll take a look at it.
There
We'll judge you on your hockey
you
playlist.
go.
So tell us a little bit more. Like, what else? What have you enjoyed so much about serving the board? Like, what do you like? What do you like about it?
So I would say it was probably like 15-ish years ago. I served on a board that was called the Unity Committee. And I just honestly, I got kind of selected, handpicked from some of the different docs who were on that board because we were trying to unify, which is why it was called the Unity Committee. We were trying to unify all of the different associations in Colorado and kind of come together and stand and represent more of like a similar one thing as opposed to having multiple different organizations that seem to in some ways almost like cut off your nose to spite your face type thing. Even though we're all chiropractors and trying to serve people, it seemed like there were like differences of opinions that were getting in the way of progression for the profession as a whole. So I served on that committee for it was about, I think, a year. That committee kind of went on, and when we did do some resolutions, we got some associations to kind of like dissolve and kind of absorb into the CCA. And then I just kind of like backed off from the political part of it for a bit of time. And then honestly, like the last couple of years with everything going on with COVID and mandates and stuff like that, I was keeping a really close eye on what was going on. And I appreciated so much, especially you, RJ, like just the intensity of how the CCA stood up for what chiropractors maybe not every single one of them. When I speak chiropractors, I'm not trying to represent every chiropractor, but as a whole, what chiropractors represent as far as our just our systemic morals and stuff like that, and like what we thought should be mandates versus like what maybe our governor thought should be mandates and stuff like that. And you guys took a really, really, really significantly like hardcore stance on that. And I appreciated it so much. So when the opportunity came up, as you know, because you were the one that reached out and said, hey, we have an opening for District 2. And I was like, you know what? Like, I believe in chiropractic so much. I know that we need people, like-minded chiropractors, to step up and help support, to keep our profession moving in the right direction and helping support as many chiropractors as we can while serving as many patients as we can. And that is really what landed me, even though I feel probably a little bit inept because I did have 2 kids playing travel hockey for the last couple of years. So I feel a little bit absent, but moving forward, I'm excited to be able to be a little bit more present all of the time and put in as much effort as I can to help support the organization and help reach as many chiropractors in the state as we can, just like teaching them what we do and why we do it and how, like asking people, like, how can we serve you better? Like, what do we need to do that's going to help support you better? You know, all of those things. That's what our meetings are about so often, is not about like what we want or what we need, but like, what as a whole does our state need? Like, what do the chiropractors in our state need?
Yeah, and it's so true, right? Like there's all this, it's like I just say, hearsay or gossip, and it's bad everywhere in everything you do, and chiropractors are just as bad as everyone else. And oh, the board only cares about this and the board only cares about that. And it's not like, in, growth wise, I was like you when I first started. When I was District 2 director, I didn't get involved much for the first couple of years. I just was there, going through the motions. And then I kept showing up, and I'm like, oh man, I think I can make a bigger impact. And then we started doing more. Then I got involved in to the executive committee. And then there's growth in it, right? Like you grow as an individual, you grow as a person, you realize that, yeah, this might be my view, but it doesn't have to be your view. The thing that we have in common is chiropractic, and I'm just going to protect it on all levels. So if it's allowed to be practiced in the state, I have to protect that. Whether I think it's right or wrong, or whether you think how I do is right or wrong, it doesn't matter. It's just we got to protect that. And I think that's big that you said that. And just docs realizing that, yeah, we will fight for you to practice and be open. And that's just one thing that is big in us. And another cool thing at the last board meeting, and I didn't probably do another video on this, but we'll just teaser here, is that we're hiring a company that's actually going to go out and start pulling the members so we can make changes to our membership structure and fee schedules to find out what people actually here in Colorado want. So it is growth, because we are listening, going, you know what, it's not just about what we want. And I hate being in a place where I'm told this is what it is and this is what no one asked me. So I think it's huge that we're bringing in this company that's going to pull the members and find out what they truly want from the association.
Yeah, that's going to be such a great like addition, like to
Yeah, because
have all that
we
information.
right, because you and I and the rest of the people can go back and forth and say, here's why people aren't members. But if we don't have the data, we make really bad decisions. It's
Yeah.
sort of like you said, and people are like, why do chiropractors take x-rays? I'm like, yeah, I can feel at like pretty good, but if I take an x-ray, I can be 100% certain.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I have like a great story about the whole x-ray thing. This actually legit happened not that long ago, but I had a guy come in, referred in from another patient, had low back pain, had been getting injections from his doctor. And I said, do you have any x-rays from there? No. I'm like, all right, well, I always do full spine x-rays when I do x-rays anyway, just to kind of see everything that's going on. And I take an x-ray of his neck and I'm looking going, did you have a neck surgery? Wasn't on his intake form, didn't talk to me about it, anything. He actually had a plate fusing in his cervical spine, and the screw was broken. You could see the screw that was broken off, like from the plate in his neck. And I'm like, can you imagine, as a chiropractor, had he not disclosed it on his intake form, didn't tell me anything about it, like obviously I was focusing, he was focusing on his low back pain, but still, like I take the x-ray, I'm like, you probably need to go back into your orthopedic surgeon and make sure that it's okay that you have a screw that's broken off in your neck. And I can only imagine that, like, if I had adjusted him without x-rays, would I be like, would they think, oh, the chiropractor did that,
Nope.
like
Screw,
I feel like
right? Yeah.
it's what.
Yeah, they would blamed you for breaking the screw. Your
Yeah, right.
chiropractor the screw. Sue
Yeah.
her. Like,
I
yeah.
mean, how
And
would you
that's
know if somebody forgets to tell you, oh, by the way, I had a fusion, like I've got a plate in my neck and screws holding it together, but oh well.
or it's like when you see arthritis and you're like, have you had any traumas in your neck? No. And they come back 2 days later. I got hit in the head with a bat. Does that count?
Oh yeah.
No, no,
Yep, all the
not.
time. Yeah, some of
So
my favorite ones are like, oh, I forgot I was like a rodeo beller and I like the horse bucked me off and I fell. I'm like, That's like a good one to forget, I guess.
What's
Probably
your
had a
definition of
discussion
trauma?
with that one
Rodeo
too.
guys never have trauma.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, anything else you want to say in your get to know you? Anything you want people to know about you?
Um, I don't know. I have a good hockey playlist. I don't know. I love chiropractic. I've been doing it for 23 years, graduated in 1999 from Logan. I am just super grateful for the opportunity that this state gives us to be who you want to be as a chiropractor in the state. And I love seeing chiropractors support other chiropractors. And it's like amazing. And I love being a part of that. So thank you, RJ, for convincing me that I absolutely had no choice, but I had to be on the board.
Hey, I just find people to run, man. That's all you got to do is just ask. And like I was asked, and it's just what you do. You just, people don't know how to get on, and let's just keep telling people, if you want to serve, if you want to be involved, let us know. We got committees, we can get you on. We have elections coming up in October, and there's going to be some open seats. So,
Yeah.
we just want people on there to help make chiropractic. I don't want to say great because we've always been great, but just to keep chiropractic going and going strong. And just
And
like you said,
bonus, when you go to the board meetings, RJ will adjust you.
that's true too.
Bonus.
So, okay. Well,
All
that
right.
being said, thank you, Amanda, for serving. We
Thanks,
appreciate you having
RJ.
me on
Have
the
fun in
board.
Texas being Dan's dad.
There you go, right? Dance dad all the way.
Go Jada.
All right, guys. Till next time, power's on.
Peace out.